Back to another video. In today's video, we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about with Hurricane Melissa that's currently affecting the Caribbean Sea right now and the Bahamas along with Cuba and the islands. And then we have a cold blast that's going to be taking part of down south towards the Gulf of Mexico. So there's a lot of things we have to watch out coming very soon with that's currently happening in the Midwest. And then going on to Thursday, we're talking about some 30 to 40 degrees in parts of Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, and then eventually probably moving off to the East Coast. But stay tuned for that. I know I haven't been posting, and I actually disappeared for a whole year. And there's a valid reason for that. I graduated high school, was really focused onto that, and I had to put more priorities first before the YouTube channel. But now, since I'm on a timely schedule, and I can kind of work through the day and post videos now, so I'm very excited to say I'm going to be back. I won't be doing everyday posts or daily uploads, but I will at least try to post at least 2 to 3 times, maybe 4 a week videos. So here we are. We have Hurricane Melissa. We have a lot to talk about with the storm. I know I'm kind of on the tail end of this storm. Really nothing else once it leaves the Bahamas and enters out to the Caribbean Sea. It's really going to be, it's going to still be strong and everything, but it's going to make its way towards Bermuda, and that's something we do have to worry about. Ryan here, Bermuda is going to be right here. That's something we do have to worry about. So I think once this is out, makes its way towards, the UK, which won't affect the UK, period. But once it gets its way out, it should be done. And like I said, next victim of the storm is going to be Bermuda. We'll have to wait for that. But otherwise, we'll take a look at what the storm track is going to be. But yeah, like I said, you can see it's doing pretty strong. It's if I'm not mistaken, it is a category 1 or 2. I haven't really checked on it, like I said, because it's a storm that's, really not affecting the United States. Yes, it's affecting down here. But, like I said, I haven't had really time to go check on it. But, like I said. So, if we take a look at, if we come over here, take a look at what this future storm is. So, you can tell we got Bermuda right here. And we're going to take a look at what the storm is going to be doing. So, you can see by tomorrow, we're talking about October 30th, around 12 o'clock. The 12Z, 12 in the morning, you can see that it's going to be making its way off towards Bermuda, and it'll be done with the Caribbean Sea and the Bahamas and the islands over there. So we come over here, and we're talking about around 31st Halloween day for Bermuda. You guys are not going to get a head-on collision from it, but you guys, it's going to be around probably, I would say, around anywhere from 40 to 50 miles off your coast, which can be catastrophic damage still because, you're talking about a pressure of 974, like I said. So it really doesn't weaken too much once it gets up to Bermuda, but once it's going to get up to the north, it's going to start weakening and it won't be a threat anymore. So that's why I said I really am not really focused on the storm, because yes, it is affecting the Bahamas right now, but they're well prepared for it. I'm just kind of giving an insight of what's left of the storm and what it's going to do afterwards, so there won't be any type of impact towards the United States after this, besides maybe affecting Bermuda. But like I said, they're prepared for that. The tracks are on there, so this is the end of this storm, and I think hurricane season is completely dead after this. We can get nor'easters, but hurricane season was very weird this year. That's another reason why I really did not post that much too, is because I just felt like, with the season being kind of dead, it really wasn't really worth my time and effort to put into it because I had to put more things into effort. But, like I said, we're back now. I'm going to start posting for winter storms. Right now is kind of the slump when it comes to weather right now, because now we're at the end of the hurricane season where it's kind of dead, but we're also in the part where we don't see winter storms coming in yet, so we can't really post anything. So this is kind of our dead season when it comes to weather. All we can really post about is major cold spills, major if we do get a snowstorm, maybe here and there, but it's really hard for the United States during this time. So it's pretty dead right now. It's kind of hard to post. But if we come over here And we're gonna start talking. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on from hurricanes and the Caribbean Sea and tropical stuff, and we're gonna be moving on to what the forecast is gonna be for the United States for this whole week. We're gonna talk about temperatures, cold blast, everything like that. So, if we take a look, and we're gonna take a look at the rainfall total. So we take a look right here. You guys can see currently right now we got some rain up in the Midwest, uh, towards Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky. We're experiencing some rain along with the East Coast around the Carolinas and the Tidewaters areas. Um, Nothing really. We have had a lot of rain. I know with the around the Carolinas. It's been raining the last 2 days nonstop. So it's been very cool. It's been cold and mug. It's just been cold and horrible to be honest. But here we are. And if we keep playing this on the time for you guys, you can see as that keeps moving from what's in the Middle West, as it moves on, it's gonna go up to the north, cause some rain, and like I said, it's gonna join the storm basically and span the rain basically, and like I said, the north gonna get rain. Nothing too. It is gonna bring quite a bit. It's gonna bring around anywhere from parts of north around New York, Pennsylvania. It can bring up anywhere from 2 to maybe 4 inches of rain in some spots, and we'll get that to that in a few minutes. So like I said, it quiets down. We have some rain down there in the south. Now they did say something may pop up there for a second, but like I said, it's gonna bring more rain than anything else, and then we'll stop it from there because it's kind of unpredictable for rain for that. We come over here to the rainfall total, like I said. If we come over here, you guys can see that this is the rain for the next 5 days. So the next 120 hours is what we're expecting for parts of the United States. So you can see we come down here to the south, right in here. You guys, we really nothing left in the next 5 days. Currently, right now in the Virginia, we come over here to the East Coast, the East Coast. We can expect the next 5 days anywhere from 0.25 all the way up to, if we go up to the northern Virginia, we can expect anywhere from 2 inches up there in northern Virginia. Then we go up to north, which we can expect anywhere from around the New York, Pennsylvania, the north up there. We can expect anywhere from 0.25 all the way up to 3 inches. So like I said, a lot of rain. When this storm comes up here, it's going to be another like a little low pressure that forms up in here. Going to bring a lot of rain down into this area, so get prepared for that one. 3 inches. Nothing really major. Like I said, it is the dead season, so I'm gonna talk about a lot of boring things. This is just more to give you, hey, this is your weekly forecast update. That's basically what this is right now. Because like I said, there's really nothing to talk about. We come over here to the West Coast. Nothing really. We can expect around 4 inches right here, but nothing big deal. But like I said, and then we come over here to California. It's gonna be dry. Which is typical. But like I said, if we come over here and the next thing, so that was our category 2. So first was the hurricane Melissa. Now this was category 2, where I was talking about our weekly forecast, what we expect for rain, how much more rain we can expect. Now our category 3, we're gonna talk about the cold spell that's gonna be affecting parts of Texas, Alabama, Oklahoma, even the East Coast. Coming up later on this week, around tomorrow and then Friday. It's gonna be a cold Halloween for a lot of people. From anywhere from right in the Midwest all the way up to the East Coast. And the East Coast has been a little cool this week. I will be honest. Like yesterday, where I live was a 55 for a high, which is a little bit below average. Around this time of year. So, first thing we're going to take a look at, we're going to take a look at the jet stream. Now, why do we take a look at this jet stream? It is a very important tool that we need to look at. This really determines, cold, warm, if the jet stream dips down too low, that's how we know we're going to get our cold spills. Because anything, if we bring out the marker real fast, cold is always on this side, so the cold is always on this side because, you got colder temperatures from Canada pushing down. So that's why I say when the jet stream gets a punch in it, It normally brings down all cold air with this. Now we're not talking about anything that's gonna be in like the 15s for Wisconsin, but it's gonna be in around probably around lows probably get around probably 30, 35, maybe 25 at the least. But that's typically normal for them. That's nothing catastrophic. Oh my goodness. But the problem is Texas. We're talking about lows can reach down to little as 30 degrees, which is very cool for that this time of year. Way below average for Texas, and really the South down here is really below average to see 30s. But like I said, you can see the jet stream dipping down like this. It's doing something like that right now, which explains why we have so much rain for the Carolinas right now. Like I said, the jet stream has a lot to do with our what we see for winter time. What we it really determines a lot. It controls our weather pattern, or weather system. If we get a thunderstorm, it really controls a lot. Because this is what steers a lot of the weather. That's why you never see weather go this way, because the jet stream you always see weather go down like this. It always follows the jet stream because that's what steers thunderstorms, hurricanes, stuff like that. This really what steers the weather, the jet stream around the whole Earth. But like I said, we're gonna play this for you guys, and we're gonna take a look at this jet stream. Now, like I said, the jet stream is gonna jump back up after, I would say, around Saturday, so it's not gonna be too bad. So this won't stay around for long, but it's enough to kind of ruin Halloween for some people. So you can see, little alone, we have the jet stream dipping down all the way into the Gulf of Mexico, just about. Um, so this is gonna be, let's see. So this is currently right now. So like I said, it's really in the middle right now. We are seeing low cool temperatures. You see it. We go to Wednesday, 2 p.m. Now this is Thursday, tomorrow morning. You can see that we're talking about some cool temperatures for parts of Alabama, Louisiana, Tennessee, Kentucky. And then we come over here, and like I said, the jet stream does dip back up before it can hit the Virginia. So I would say back part of Virginia, back part of North Carolina, maybe even the corner of South Carolina. You guys can definitely expect too. A little bit cooler temperatures than average, and then the jet stream kind of dips back, and goes back to normal. Which, like I said, it is going to cool down soon. We are prepared for that because, like I said, we're hitting the holiday season. So, cool air is going to be talking sooner than later, and we're going to see some snow sooner than later. So, get prepared for that. I'll roll out some things that we could do and what we expect this winter. Like I said, I haven't had really time to look at the forecast models, but here we are. We're going to go over here to Tropical Tidbits, and this is another thing we can look at to see how, how cool you can see the green is like moderate temperatures, average, and we can see the yellowish is kind of like warmer temperatures, a little bit above average. Now this is not the exact temperature. You can see it goes up to 48. This is going by Celsius, and this is all the way up in the air. So this is about, I would say, probably it's 700 HPA. So it's quite a bit up there. So like I said, this is Celsius. But like I said, we come down here, we can see this jet stream kind of dipping up like this and dipping down. So you can definitely see the cold air coming in, but it is also going to kick some warm air up into maybe parts of up here towards Canada. Sorry, I had to think for a second. But like I said, we keep playing it. You guys can see that here's our Hurricane Melissa. Then we got over here where we're talking about around the 30th tomorrow. And then you can see it kind of stays staggered for a little bit. Like I said, it's going to stay like that for a little bit. And then it will taper off and it even back out and go back to normal. So like I said, that's really all I have to talk about. There's a lot more I could nitpick and add on and try to explain myself to make this video a lot longer. I'm not going to even do that because, like I said, my memo of weather is to explain it to people that don't really understand. I don't like to get into the, the very technical side of the weather, and I just like to explain it in dummy style, basically. Like I said, to make it easier for people to understand, because like I said, this is not everyone's cup of tea, and me personally, I'm still learning. I'm taking classes, and like I said, so I never go above and beyond to like show like the difficult side of weather, because like at the end of the day, if you're a weather geek, you're gonna watch those bigger guys. I'm a smaller guy, and I just want to show the easier side of weather, and just I want to be your weatherman basically for your local, uh, just so you something you can watch. But like I said, I am back, and we're gonna be posting videos a lot more now, and hopefully we can stay on this routine and nothing affects my routine. Like I said, my schedule's pretty crazy, so like I said, I can probably only roll out about 3 or 4 videos around this time right now. Um, because like I said, there's really nothing to post about with like I said, our biggest topic this week was the cold spill for Texas. Um, which is not very, it's record breaking. It could get to record breaking temperatures, but like I said, and then Melissa's also going to be moving up towards northeast, so it's going to go out to sea, and it's going to die, and it's going to be done. um it's really nothing to really talk about right now. It's like it's pretty dead, and like I said, it's going to be like that for a little bit. We're going to have to wait about another 3 4 weeks to have our snowstorms kick in and our cold airs, and more interesting weather. Like I said, this is the dead time, so I am for right now going to give you very boring weather, but it's going to keep you updated on your weekly commute, and what you expect, when you can expect rain, how much you can expect it, and if we see any type of you know dropping temperatures that are like, oh, that's very cold for this time of year. But I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. And keep weathering. We love the weather, and I'll post a video out very soon, and I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of your day. Thank you for watching.